Disclosure. I'm here. I had nothing.
Oh shit!
I had a whole lot of nothing. I'm your host, the full disclosure one himself, the leader of this underground ragtag group of dumbasses. We are Red Foreman's favorite right foot cozy. That looks pretty good. I am Chad Porto, and joining me as always is Zachary Tyler P. Duncan. This is Megan and Impact, brought to you by RealNerdCorp.com, a subsidiary. Nope, that's the parent company. Megan and Impact is a subsidiary of Wrestling Underground, which is a subsidiary of Real Nerd Corp.
There you go.
It's a ladder of suck.
Does the ladder only go down and not up?
Apparently. And as it goes down, it gets worse. So much worse. I'm your host for this sterling quarter hour, half hour, 3/4 hour, maybe a full hour of podcasting. I'm Chad Porto. Joining me
Would you
is
call it
what I call it. What?
scintillating?
Scintillating?
Yes.
I would say it's sinful.
Mm.
Like maybe, just maybe, this is breaking one of the 10 Commandments. Thou shalt not covet Dave Meltzer's airtime. I believe that was one of the commandments. Zachary Tyler, P.P. Duncan, I'm Chad Porter. This is Megan Impact. We're here to talk about the first ever all-chick fight main event world title match. Woo!
Oh man!
So they're really going hard into this all-chick world title match, and do you want to know why?
Why is that, Chad?
I've been a Impact fan dating back to the days of text updates and finding them on regional television because they used to have a regional TV network, a regional TV contract alongside their weekly pay-per-views. I would come home in between track practice and school and track practice technically, and watch them on Fox Sports 1 at 4 in the afternoon. Not Fox Sports 1, just Fox Sports. Sorry. So, I've been around.
Mm-hmm.
Round, round, get around, I get around, get around. I love the Beach Boys. First time in the history of first timedom that I've ever gotten an email from Impact telling me that tonight's main event is going to be this. Never before have I ever gotten an email from them touting the main event of their show for the day.
Wait, so why did they email you because you are subscribed to Impact Plus, or did they email you because?
Well, I didn't hear the last part because our connection is terrible tonight. I don't know why. I'm assuming you meant because Impact thinks that I'm a god and I'm an influencer and all sorts of amazingness. And yes, that is true. That's the thing. I don't know because I've never gotten this email from them before. Like, I always get updates from Impact because I've been on their fucking email list for a decade plus. So, like, you know, I had to sign up when way back with TNA On Demand in 2011. I was subscribed to that. I've bought merchandise from them, and my email's been there for, fucking 2006, so 14 years. First time ever, though, I've gotten an email from them saying, hey, this is our main event for tonight. And I'm like, why? Well, I know why. Because they're trying to really promote this idea of the all-women's world title match. They have the Tessa Blanchard Diary series where they're talking about how she reacted after she became the first woman who won the world title, which drops on the same week where we find out that the first two women's world title matches happened on Impact. And it's coming in the same week in the same month of Women's Month. So, yeah, they're super going in on this. I don't know if it's going to work, but they're going to try. So they're really making an effort on this, and I don't know if it's going to be successful or not because, let's be honest, I've been watching the interwebs, I've been following the interweebs, talking to the inner dorks. And the one thing I've been finding out is the Tessa Blanchard title run has no momentum. I don't know if that's a good thing or not. probably not. I think I answered that
Probably
question.
not.
But I don't know if that's going to be like a big issue. But we'll find out. The Diary series for Fight Network is a big deal, and with Impact now airing the gut checks on Impact Plus, there is a concerted effort from Anthem to get more original content on Impact Plus. So it will be interesting to see what happens with Tessa's title run. I think March is going to be a huge month for her in terms of what she can prove as a viable champion. I don't know if Impact's of the mindset that we need her to generate this, draw this, get this, or if they have a plan in place that they're not going to waver from. I don't know. But if things don't, I don't want to say improve because that would imply that things are bad. But
Right.
if this month doesn't become the success that they're hoping with all of this female empowerment and women power and chick fights in the main event and all that, if it doesn't generate some kind of substantial increase, I would imagine that they'd pull the plug and go back to something that doesn't have as much, what's the word I'm looking for, Zach? Where there's a lot of controversy around it.
Mm-hmm.
Lot of divided fan bases. That's not the word. A lot of come on, help me out here. This is your
Um,
job. Division. That'll work.
Division.
There's a lot of division among the fan base about whether women and men should be wrestling in the first place, and Impact is going full bore into this. But not every fan is coming with them, and I think they need to realize that if you have a strong amount of a fan base that doesn't want something, don't force it on them. I don't
Right.
know if Impact's aware of this, but they really should. So we start off with a tweet. Nashville Strong. They were rocked by tornadoes. I think on the second. Real bad actually. I didn't even hear about them until like the night after. Usually, like, when this kind of thing happens, it's like instant news.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure why it kind of took that long, but it did. It sucks. So here's hoping that everyone. I mean, not everyone's okay. I know that. Here's hoping they can rebuild, and it wasn't as bad as it could have been. Here's hoping. So speaking of bad as it could have been, Falaba, TJP. Getting
Yes.
wins over on the North. You, I like to imagine, are a unofficial third member of the North. Is that true? Can we confirm?
I cannot confirm nor.
Cannot confirm nor deny. You were cutting out, but I think I got the gist of it. I think that's
Yes.
fair. I think that's fair. Winners, chicken dinners. TJP and Falaba defeated the tag team champions of the North with a sunset flip from TJP to Josh Alexander. Thoughts on the match, Zach?
It was a good match. I heavily enjoyed it. I think there. Josh Matthews had a few interesting calls tonight. On this episode? One of them being that Falaba can move like an X Division wrestler. Like,
That's a lie.
but Ba has made great progress. I don't think he'll ever get there. But then it's also like it also made me go deeper and be like, X Division didn't always used to be a certain size and a certain athleticism. Like anybody could be used. That's gone away. I think since the Hogan era, that's pretty much gone away.
Well, no, it came back. Biss and Samoa Joe all won the X Division title after the Hogan era, or during it
True.
for Biss's case. Um, Mike Bennett won it, and he wasn't really that athletic.
That's fair.
Lashley, big ol' Lashley.
Did Lashley win it?
Yup. Because he beat Eddie Edwards and held all the belts at one time.
Oh, that's right.
Eddie Edwards, I wouldn't say he's an X Division guy, not in terms of style.
Mm-hmm.
So they're still doing it. I think, though, we're so hung up on the impression that Joe gave us back in 05 that, it's still kind of how we see the non-X Division guys is someone like Samoa Joe.
Mm-hmm.
Joe's gonna kill you. Tessa Blanchard's backstage. She's like, hey, I'm going to fight Taya, but I know Eddie and Michael Elgin are waiting for me at the pay-per-view. And everyone's like, yep, that's logical. That tracks. Zach, are you hoping for an Elgin Eddie victory?
Yeah, I can't. You mean over?
Yes, over Tessa.
I can't say that I am hoping for either. I can't say that I'm on either side. I just I'm very curious as to see who they go with. I'm assuming at this you would go with Michael Elgin because while Eddie and Tessa may theoretically have a more competitive match, I feel like with Tessa as champion, you want her to face someone that's violent to get to get people more on her side. So I think you put her against Michael Elgin. Now, does Elgin win? I don't know. Does Tessa win? I don't know. I think the winner of that match greatly determine how Impact has viewed Tessa's championship run up till that point.
That's true. If Elgin or Eddie beat Tessa at Rebellion, that'll say all that needs to be said about Tessa's champion.
Mm-hmm.
I have to admit, seeing a lot of the backlash online, not just for the comments that Tessa has been accused of making, although, let's be fair, the woman who accused her, Allison Kay, wasn't there when said words were spewed, so she's not really someone you can take the word of.
Right. And she wasn't there when the Tessa and the person she said those words to actually came to terms and reconciled.
Yes. So, let's just be clear about that. But there's a lot of people who have a valid point that someone the size of Tessa arguably isn't even someone who should be a world champion in Impact. And Moose, just the other day was like, I don't want to beat Tessa for the title because that would be nothing. It would be a 5-minute match, and I wouldn't gain anything from that. So I don't know if that's a character narrative, but I'm sure that's a narrative a lot of people have.
Yeah. Well, that was a lot of what Eli Drake was when he was supposed to face off against Tessa last year.
Yeah.
It's like that one do anything to build up my stock and on my way out the door.
And he's not wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I've not been a fan of intergender wrestling, and I've long been, begging for wrestling to go into a more serious, realistic approach. And everyone's like, why don't you just go watch MMA then? You mean the sport that actually gains viewers and attention? As opposed to pro wrestling, which is declining in popularity each and every year? I don't know.
It's funny how that works. It's like it's declining in popularity each every year, and yet it seems to be more and more out there,
right?
As it declines in popularity.
It's almost like the idea of having backyard wrestlers appearing at wrestling shows and featured attractions and putting belts on dudes and women's divisions and women's and dude divisions is somehow like a good, someone thinks that's a good idea, and then all of a sudden you see more and more promotions drying up and more people needing to find cable homes because no one wants to supply pro wrestling anymore. So you have AEW, and I think AEW right now is hitting some good strides. They got picked up for 3 years or something like that, so that's 5 years maybe. I don't remember. That's real good. I'm happy for that. But you have to remember that that's mainstream now. You can't book indie shit anymore. The more you do, the more fans will leave because guess what? Indie shit's indie shit for a reason.
Yeah, I'm sure there are a lot of people that are looking to deny it, but AEW is on the same. They're not as big as the WWE, but playing field. They're in that same. They are mainstream pro wrestling.
Yes. It's kind of one of those things where you have to kind of realize that if you put Amanda Nunes or Ronda Rousey or Joanna Jędrzejczyk against an equally big or small MMA fighter, what is all the lighter weights always fuck me up. Nunes, I think, is like a featherweight. I think, if you put Amanda Nunes or Valentina Shevchenko against someone like Henry Cejudo, that's a one-sided fight that Cejudo dominates. And people want to see realistic storytelling. It's one of the biggest gripes among streaming fans for entertainment is that they want realistic, honest-to-goodness storytelling that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So why are we as wrestling fans accepting something that isn't realistic? Because it's wrestling, we're supposed to just pretend? No. Goldberg became so goddamn popular because he was goddamn Goldberg. He smashed the shit out of people, and it was believable. That's why at 53, it's still believable, because that dude still looks like he'd smash the shit out of people. So I think wrestling fans kind of need to realize that a Tessa title run isn't exactly what's going to end up being what, brings this company back to profitability and, prominence. If anything, I think a Tessa title run is going to hurt it, because there's going to be a large segment of fans, maybe not a majority, but a good enough segment who's like, I'm done. I don't want to watch this anymore. I think it's gone too far off the rails. And the idea that that would somehow be sexist is hilarious to me, because just simply look at every Olympics that's ever happened. Look at the male times and look at the female times. Look at the male distances. Look at the male weights. Look at them. There's an obvious physical and athletic difference between genders. That's not even debatable. In fact, one of the U.S. women's soccer players was asked in a competition against the men, would you win? And she eventually, she beat around the bush and said, well, if you take away their size, their strength, their quickness, and their attributes, and you made it fundamentally about soccer skills, yeah, we'd win. And I'm kind of laughing because those are soccer skills. You can't just get rid of half the goddamn, quickness is a goddamn athletic skill. Yeah, if you made them boulders, you could kick around them, but they're not. So, even women at the top of their game realize that there's a fundamental physical difference between men and women. It's only wrestling fans that don't get that. Joe Rogan caught so much shit for saying Ronda Rousey could beat Floyd Mayweather in a fight. She couldn't. No one thought that. No one with a clue thought that. Joe Rogan was an idiot for saying that, and he's still an idiot. And he can say he was wrong until he's blue in the goddamn face, but he was an idiot. Layla Ali could probably beat up some drunk dude in a bar. Yeah, I buy that. Layla Ali could not go toe-to-toe with Tyson Fury. She would be destroyed. It wouldn't even be fucking close. So let's try to remember that pro wrestling works best when it's real. And, realize that Tessa Blanchard should not be wrestling men. That's not to say that women shouldn't be the main focus of Impact, because I honestly think that Taya and Tessa are one of the best rivalry matchups in Impact. I think you can make it very simple. Have the Impact brand division be the men, the Knockouts brand division be the women, and have legitimate titles in both brands. Have the Knockouts World Championship and allow that to main event. I don't see why that's a bad thing.
Yeah.
I really don't. I don't understand that at all. Tessa's a huge star for Impact.
Yes.
She's talented as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Great promo. Depending on who you talk to, very likable. If you didn't know anything about her backstory or the accusations, she's very likable. She, Taya, and Jordan Grace are some of the best female wrestlers. They're some of the best wrestlers, period. But among the women, they're top tier echelon kind of quality. So I really don't understand why it's such a, almost like a dogmatic standpoint to take a stance on people who are like, I don't want to watch intergender wrestling. I don't get that. I'm not saying I don't want women in my wrestling. I'm not saying I don't think women can sell. I'm saying I don't like watching men who are twice the size of these women lose. And everyone's like, well, you're fine with Rey Mysterio. Actually, motherfucker, I remember 98. No one was fine with Rey Mysterio beating heavyweights. This is not a new thing, and it's not something that's gone away. People still
No.
thought Rey Mysterio in 2006 shouldn't be beating heavyweights.
No.
So like let's sit here and be realistic. Guys like Benoit and Malenko got a pass because of their style. Benoit, I know talking about him now is just kind of a gross subject. I understand that completely, but Benoit was someone like Kurt Angle. Maybe that's a better option. These were guys that would pick apart larger athletes piece by piece. Tessa Blanchard's not a grappler. She's not a submission wrestler. There's no logic or what's what I'm looking for, realism in the way she goes about her business. She jumps off the top rope and fucking kills her knees every time with that goddamn Magnum.
Yeah.
And like before that, like, she's throwing forearms. Am I really supposed to believe that if you threw forearms with Ken Shamrock, you're going to win? No. Ken Shamrock would just take you to the ground and beat the hell out of you. Even at 56. I'm supposed to believe that Moose is going to somehow be taken down by, 5'3" Tessa Blanchard? What? Like Jordan Grace, maybe. Because Grace is also, if I remember reading this correctly, I could be wrong on this. Grace was an amateur wrestler. So, like, that makes a little bit more sense. But even still, Moose is 6'6".
Right.
He's got an 80-inch reach.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And that's, like, I could say that about a lot of, like, mothers as well, honestly. Like, that's why I like TJP introduced his submission wrestling and his grappling. Because then him beating Josh Alexander makes a lot more sense. Like I can get behind that because I can get behind tactician wrestling and grappling wrestling beating bigger. I get that. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm. I think for me, and people need to understand this isn't a new stance for me. I've never been a big fan of intergender wrestling. I was all right with it with China because China was legitimately bigger than most of the men.
Mm-hmm.
She was stronger. Like I shouldn't say towered, but in compared to Jericho, China had the better physique.
Yeah, she did.
Like she was a well put together woman, or Jericho was a flabby fucker. I don't know. Both can be true. I know one still is. Jesus Christ, Jericho, stop eating carbs. But, you look at the women back then, China was an anomaly, and there's a reason why she didn't wrestle in the women's division, because even the WWE in 1998, 1999 knew that she would have no competition. What? Is she going to face off with Sable? That'll go well. So they knew that the only way to get her over was to put her against men. But Tessa's 5'2". China was 6'2". China was taller than most of the men. So this isn't one of those situations where you can kind of go into this and go, well, what China did. Well, China was a good foot taller than Tessa. And she was a physical specimen that Tessa isn't. So with me, I look at wrestling as something that needs to be realistic. When it's realistic, it works the best. That's why I love Josh Barnett's Bloodsport. Oh, I love that so much. Oh, that is so much up my alley, it hurts. That's why I love the idea of Ring of Honor bringing back the Peer Championship. I love that shit. That's why I like Japanese wrestling, because they give you both companies for men and women, but they don't sit here and say, well, this, 104-pound girl can totally go up against, fucking Stone Pitbull. That ain't going to happen. You're not going to go over on Ishii. You're 102 pounds. Like, come on. So I wish American pro wrestling would take itself more seriously like Japanese pro wrestling. And there's a reason why the number 3 company in America is New Japan. It's because fans want realistic wrestling. It doesn't always need to be 100% realistic. There's room for your Yanos and your Colt Cabanas, your Johnny Swingers. But for the most part, I think having divisions is a good thing. I think having separate gendered classes are a good thing. I think the problem the problem that you run into is when you try to say, well, this light heavyweight shouldn't main event, or this woman shouldn't main event because they're a light heavyweight or the woman. No. If the UFC has proven in anything, besides that no one will ever call them out for trying to be a monopoly because ESPN's a bunch of cunts, is that women and lighter fighters can sell pay-per-views. All you need is a good fucking draw. Like, all you need is a dude who can generate interest, or a chick who's in a real good feud with someone. That's all you need to really generate business. It,
Mhm.
I might go a little over on the other side of the spectrum, but part of me is like, I would make the X division an open weight class division, but then I would introduce a middleweight and a lightweight title, and have a heavyweight title, a middleweight title, and a lightweight title all be technically world titles in Impact, and do the same with the women's division. Have a bantamweight women's championship, and then like an open weight women's championship, and like that's how I would go about doing the singles divisions. There's a part of me that I don't see the value anymore in an intercontinental type of title, because everyone technically now is a good worker comparatively.
Right.
So like I don't see the value in having second tier titles. Why not just have 3 world titles at different weight classes? Have guys sectioned off into those weight classes, and then if you really want to put 2 guys in different weight classes together, you have an open weight title. In this case, the X Division title, or the Knockouts open weight title, and do it that way. I think you'd have a lot of room with that. You'd also be able to create more new stars in that method and allow more people to be main eventers in that method. Pro wrestling is such an antiquated business model when you think about it, because all this is going back some 80 years and people are still doing the same goddamn thing, not realizing that it's no longer working. Oh, pro wrestling, you are a funky bunch of nonsense. Funky bunch. Yeah. Speaking of funky bunches, Moose kicked Petey Williams in the face, and I'm sad. So they're running a 1-hour TNA special near the end of March on Fight Network. I have no idea what this motherfucker's going to include, but I'm so excited for this. Question to you, Thackeray.
Yeah.
Pineapple on pizza, you for or against? Did I lose you? I think I lost you. Thackeray. Ooh. Let's see if I lost him. Send him a message. I'm getting no reply. Let's see if I hang up and call him back. Zach? I can see your green thing. There you are.
Aha.
What did you do?
I didn't do nothing. You asked me about pineapple on pizza and it fucked up everything.
Well, maybe that's God's way of saying it's an abomination.
Probably.
I'm thinking about this. Hebrew's a very complicated language. Even if it's not, shut the fuck up and just go with it. Do you think it's a possibility that when they were deciphering the Old Testament, they didn't say with man lie with man that it's an abomination? Maybe they implied if you put pineapple on cheese on top of each other that it's an abomination. I think that makes more sense.
You think someone mistranslated the Dead Sea Scrolls?
I did. Yeah, I really do. Dead Sea Scrolls definitely didn't say anything about the gayness. They said everything about the pineapple on pizza-ness. Like, no. People ask me all the time, if you ever had a son or a daughter and they came out as gay, would you disown them? I always reply with, do they like pineapple on pizza? If the answer is yes, you're goddamn right I will. Dad, I have something to tell you. Yes, Chad Jr. Chad Thackeray Jr. What is it? I'm gay, all right? And I like pineapple on pizza. Get out! No son of mine's gonna like tropical ingredients on their pizza. You're no son of mine. Fucking hate that shit. It's so gross. Don't put pineapple on pizza, people. It's so gross. No, real question. There's a part of me that feels like Impact is rebuilding up the TNA brand. And I feel like they're doing it for a reason. And I think that reason might be a name change back to TNA. Do you think, one, that's possible that they could be doing that? And two, if that is in the realm of what they're looking to do, do you think they should?
I don't. I honestly don't really foresee that as a possibility.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and part of me may just be thinking, why would you want to go back to Vince Russo's tits and ass bullshit? And the other thing is like, okay, say we change the name back to TN. Total nonstop action is back. Okay, so what? Are we change? Are we rebooting? Are we changing how we're doing our booking? Are we changing our storylines? Are we changing everything else? Because otherwise, it's just a name change, and I don't know why you would feel the need to change back.
You bring
I
up.
don't think readopting the name TNA is going to bring back is going to boost ratings or buy rates at all.
You bring up some real interesting points with the what else are you going to do besides the name. That's fair. In my head, I was thinking 6-sided rings
Okay.
because I really did like those. Now that I've gotten the 4-sided rings, I do feel like the 6 sides gives it a unique perspective. I really do. Maybe I'll have a different, maybe I'll get bored with it after a while and be like, they should go back to 4. I'm just saying. That's how I feel today. I could be completely wrong. Well, not wrong. Opinion can't be wrong. I could think completely different, though. The other thing that I think they should do, and again, I'm a proponent of realistic wrestling. That means I want a goddamn clock. I want to know how much time each match has, and I want to see a goddamn clock that counts down. I want the championship committee back. You can bring back Larry Zbyszko for all I care. And I want people to render a decision after every match like they used to when I got into it because that shit was fucking cool.
Mm-hmm.
It gave so much more uniqueness and dynamic perspective in storytelling with the ability to lose a match by judges. Oh, God, think about the depth and the complexity that goes into that. No, now all we get is Pentagon's just not fucking selling for anyone, and Seth Rollins having a stable of utterly equally boring people. I'm Seth Rollins. Like, come on, y'all. We can do better. We have to do better. Moving on. There's a UFC event this week. I'm happy.
Yeah.
I'm happy. So, apparently, backstage, we had Madison Rayne putting the gut check knockouts through the Golden Opportunity Boot Camp. Kira Hogan interrupts her and questions what she's doing. A rookie confronts Kira standing up for Madison. The rookie is declared the winner of Madison's boot camp. I didn't know there was women in the knockout in the boot camp. I haven't watched this week's show. Did you watch last week's show?
No, I did not watch last week's show.
You should watch it. It reminds me of the old Tough Enough days, back when Maven and Josh Matthews were considered household names.
I did very much enjoy the 10 minutes or so that they showed of Gut Check on this week's episode.
Oh, they showed that much?
Yeah, it was something along those lines. It was mostly it was mostly just the segment of Johnny Bravo berating, what's the kid's name, Tommy Gunn or some shit. And I watched that. I'm like, I have so much more respect for Johnny Bravo right now.
He so I think it's not Tommy Gunn. I think it's like Tony Gunn. No, his nickname's Tommy Gunn. Maybe it is Tommy Gunn. He's got a dumb name. I actually like him a lot. But his name escapes me. Last week, he was giving shit to Chase Gaines, I think his name is. Real good looking kid. He's got the look, the physique, he's got everything. And I don't know if he was doing this intentionally, but Johnny Bravo was being a giant dick. So when you're working at a job, Zachary, and your boss says, "Excuse me, Thackeray, You're a big dummy head. You're stupid. You look like Toucan Sam's balding brother, and you have no friends, and you're also doing your job wrong. What's your reply? Oh, what am I doing wrong? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Zach was a little hurt with that one. Sorry. So, like, if you don't know what you're doing wrong, you ask. And if they just say,
Right.
keep doing the thing that you're doing, and then every time you do it, he scolds you for doing it wrong, seems kind of like a dick move, right?
Yeah.
So, I think it was Chase Gaines. He was getting up, and Johnny Bravo was like, you're doing it wrong. Go down and do it again. And he does it. And he goes, all right, go down and do it again. Does it. He goes, you're doing it wrong. Go down and do it again. Only this time do it slowly so we can break it down. So the guy does it again. And he goes, how long have you been doing this? The guy's like, 5 years. And he goes, for 5 years, you haven't been getting up the right way. And I'm like, oh, man. Well, what is he doing? Is he not shifting his weight properly? Is he not rotating his hips? Is he getting up too fast? Is his shoes untied? Did he enter an interdimensional? Like, what is he doing wrong? You want to know what he was doing wrong?
What's that?
He was getting up to his left and not his right. That's it. All Johnny had to do is say, hey, get up on your right side. That's it. That's all it would take.
That's weird.
So,
I really thought I thought it was you get up on your left. Like everything most of the things on wrestling is on your left.
Flip what I said. He was getting up on his right. He was told to get up on his left.
Oh, okay. But yeah, I mean, that's that part did kind of get me. Is like he said he's been assistant trainer at this place for 2 years, and he's been attending it since '96.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that's a long time to attend. It's a very long time. But yeah, that's bad. That's bad managing. That's bad training. That's bad coaching.
Right.
All you gotta do first time you do it. The first time you see him do it, you just say, "You should be getting up on your left side."
Right.
Bam. Simple.
Right. So I find this antiquated notion of telling grown men how to do things as if they're dumb, stupid dogs. I find that not productive.
Right.
Well,
I mean, and it's not that guy's fault that he was doing it quote unquote wrong. I mean, that's probably how he was trained. Either that or no one up to this point has bothered to tell him that it's quote unquote wrong.
It's very possible. I found the whole way that they went about it to be wholly inappropriate. Like he's dressing the dude down for some reason. I don't see the need in doing that. Like, we're adults here.
Right.
I understand that I'm going to screw up. I don't mind taking criticism, and I'm more than happy to adjust as needed. Just don't treat me like I'm a fucking idiot. Don't be a bully about shit, because I'm going to lie. When I saw that, I lost so much respect for him. I'm like, you could just tell him, like an adult, hey, buddy, getting up on the wrong side. Work on getting up on the right side. And then if he still doesn't, all right, fair enough, dress him down. You don't need to be a dick day one. Like, what the fuck, Johnny?
Right. Like, I always kind of, like, in those situations, I kind of go back to Remember the Titans. With Coach Boone has these two great scenes of two very polar opposite scenes of, when they start the camp, he's like, if you miss a blocking assignment, if you do a pass route wrong.
It's if you miss a blocking assignment, you will run a mile. If you run a route wrong, you will run a mile. If you fumble my football, you will pick that ball up and you will run every foot. Well, he lists the number of feet in a mile, and I don't know it. And if you get blood in my uniform, boy, you don't want to get blood in my uniform. Because water is for winners, not for getting blood on my uniform.
See, he has that where he just like we will be perfect in every aspect of the game, and then a few minutes later, it's we're breaking in sunshine.
Sunshine, sunshine.
they're running the veer, and Sunshine tosses the ball behind, laterals the ball behind the guy, and he doesn't dress Sunshine down. He sees Sunshine doesn't know how to run this, so he coaches him. Mm-hmm. He doesn't make him go run a mile. He doesn't berate him. He actually goes in and be's a coach.
He says you can throw it a mile. You can't pitch it 5 yards. Read the hips. Lead the runner back. What the fuck? Running back. I can speak. That runner back, he's pretty damn good. He's the best runner back I've seen since Barry Allrack. Barry Allracker? You mean Brian Allracker? Brian Allrack? Urlacher. God damn it. What is wrong with me? I've been writing too much today.
You know football.
I fucking write about the goddamn Cleveland Browns on a daily basis. I better. Brian Urlacher.
Chad knows the sports.
I know the ball sports. Are you kidding me? That one with the ball where you kick it through the golden arches. Love that.
And then you get a Big Mac afterwards.
Love me that one where Bill Murray and that great comedian LeBron play. What is that? Hoopstickaball? Love that. What's the one with the sticks and they got things on their feet? Hockey? Yeah, I love me some Cleveland Indians hockey. The fuck is wrong with me? But you're right. Like that's a great example of how to go about teaching and coaching. Sometimes you need to just be like, are you done? Because like with Petey, well, you know, in Remember the Titans, he kept fumbling. So Boone lost his shit.
Yes.
There are 1,289 feet in a mile. You will pick that dang ball up, Petey, and you will run every single one of them. You're killing me, Petey. You're killing me. So, like, yeah, I think if you're going to train grown men to do grown men things, you should be a little bit more patient and be a little bit more constructive. I'm just saying. So Joey Ryan faced off with AC Romero, and I couldn't care less about a match, so we're just going to skip that.
Right? Joey Ryan is fucking Joey Ryan. Fuck Joey Ryan. But AC Romero, I still don't know why we signed him. I mean, he's a big man, and he supposedly moves very well for a big man, but he doesn't.
No, he's actually quite garbage.
Yes.
I want to say it was either against Moose or Brian Cage. Maybe even been Jay Bradley. Last year, they did this, you know, they did the Impact Plus Impact on Twitch thing. And AC Romero was there. And he fucked up so badly that he gave the guy who was with a concussion. And I saw that and I just kind of thought to myself, oh, this dude's trash. He won't be signed. And they fucking signed him. I'm going to see if I can't find this goddamn match. Because it was on Impact Twitch channel. I want to say Midsummer. You still there, Zach?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay. For some reason, my internet's my browser is fucking around with me. I should say. Hang on. All right, my browser wants to be all kinds of fuck all stupid, so can you look up AC Romero on Cage Match?
AC Romero, Brian Cage.
No. Cage Match is a website.
Ah.
It's a German website. Okay.
I will do my best. But it's not wanting to load for me either.
Was Google not wanting to load for you?
Oh, there we go. Hold on. Now we're here. Okay.
Cooking with fire?
AC Romero.
How we doing, all exalted one?
We're working on it. Matches.
You want to look at 2019, and it's going to be divided up into boxes. You want to look for the Impact box.
Okay, let's see. So you faced Moose on July 11th. It's not really in date order. Doesn't look like.
It should be.
Oh wait, hold on. You said this is a German website. I got the dates. I got the numbers backwards. I'm looking at it as American.
Well, don't do that. All right. You're taking too long, so I'm using my cell phone.
Let's see.
Okay, so let's see. AC Romero. It was Madman Fulton. That's who it was.
Okay. House of Hardcore / Impact Wrestling.
Yes. Digital Destruction. He nearly crushes Fulton's head at one point in the match. It was so sloppily done. I'm starting to remember it. I want to say Romero tried to jump over Fulton and he kneecaps him in the head. I think that's what ended up happening. And it lists it as no contest because Fulton couldn't continue because Romero fucked up so badly. And I don't want to begrudge someone who has weight issues because that's a hard thing. That's a legitimate hard thing to try to deal with. I understand that. And I will never, ever, ever denigrate someone for being overweight. I will say, however, if you are a pro athlete, and yes, pro wrestlers are pro athletes, and you are fundamentally unable to do the simplest of things that you need to do in order to ensure yourself and your opponent are protected, then you need to adjust something drastically. Romero says that he is trying to lose weight. I say bullshit. Falaba is trying to lose weight, and that is happening. Romero needs to lose weight because he is unsafe in the ring at his size. That is fundamentally just undeniably a fact. He is not a good worker. He's slow of foot. And I think the reason why he got signed is because they're doing everything they can to try to keep that OVE crew happy and healthy. And AC Romero is one of the names from that group. Jessica Havoc's one of the names from that group. They signed another dude from that region to partner with AC Romero on a few of the shows recently. So, we keep calling him AC.
He was on. Was he on Sacrifice?
I think he was. Yeah. Kind of looks like the bully from Pee Wee Herman's Big Adventure shit.
I'm blanking on the man's name.
Man. We'll see. Larry D.
There we go. I knew it was something D.
D as in that's your talent grade. So, there are certain guys on the Impact roster that really shouldn't be there, and Romero and D are two of them. So, Katie Forbes and Joey Ryan, they're all like, "What's up? We're gonna be friends now." Would you like to see a RVD Joey Ryan tag team?
No.
Yeah.
I really wouldn't. I don't really want to see a Joey Ryan thing.
That's fair.
I did think that some of his stuff with the Swingman was entertaining mildly, but other than that, no, thank you.
Then we get a no DQ match, Havoc versus Su Yung, and they use this really interesting shot of the match where Jessica Havoc has the lynch, the noose around her neck, and Su Young's looking all shocked, but that never actually happens on screen. We only ever see Jessica Havoc in full agony with the noose. This looks like she's about ready to jump off like a building or some shit. It's real fucking dark, this imagery. She's got this very sorrowful look.
She does.
She's from a goddamn Jane Austen novel.
And Su Young's trying to stop her.
Right? And it's like, this is sick. But then you realize that, Jessica Havoc at no point actually wanted the noose around her neck, and at no point did she look like she was that calm on television. So they clearly knew that there was some things that they wanted to change. Havoc, if I remember correctly, gets dragged up and put into a coffin.
Yes, but she fights out of it before she can be sent to the undead realm.
Don't send her to the undead realm. She's Sammy Callahan's girlfriend. Yep. So we then get Jimmy Jacobs. He encounters Rosemary backstage, who doesn't feel satisfied after Sealing's victory over Havoc, and reminisces about her loss of the bunny. Well, the bunny is on the AE double, so
So Bunny not coming back,
No.
but possibly a refocusing of the demon assassin.
I would like that.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we're still waiting to get this feud properly kicked off. Like, she came back, she's wrestling again, but I feel like Rosemary hasn't really embraced her Rosemary-ness.
Right.
I don't know if that's booking or if she's physically just still readjusting, because it does. Just because you're cleared doesn't mean you're back. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yeah, I gotcha.
So, for a point of emphasis, NBA basketball player Kristaps Porzingis plays for the Dallas Mavericks. 7'3", tears his ACL. He's out for the year. He's out for a year, 365. Gets cleared to play. He misses all last year. He gets cleared to play this year. I think he missed like 18 months all total. Comes back, plays very shoddy in his first 3 or 4 months because, even though he's been recovered and cleared to play for, at this point, 6-7 months, he's still learning and readjusting to everything that's been done to him. He had a huge major surgery on his knee. So he's got to, not just relearn how to walk and get the muscle strength back, but he needs to regain his skills and he needs to regain the ability to focus and turn his talent into production. And that, takes a while to get back to that point. For more of a personal experience, I ripped up my knee significantly. I tore all 3 ligaments, two complete, one partial. And they told me I'd be out for a year. I came back in 5 months, but I wasn't actually completely back until a good year and a half. So it's one of those things where even though Rosemary's knee is healed, part of me wonders if she's physically ready to go at the efficiency that she once did. And she wasn't really ever that physical of a worker. She's always been more of a theatrical worker, which is fine by me. I don't mind that. So, I wonder if she lost a little bit of the sting she had, and if she did, is this her new normal? And if it is this enough to get her, back involved in things? And if it's not, then what do you do with her?
Mm-hmm.
So I love me some Rosemary, and I hope she's healed up and ready to go. But the last few months of hers has not been that impressive in the ring.
Right.
And I'm hoping that changes. We get a Johnny Swinger and Glenn Gilberti versus Deaners match, and I'm all for a Swinger Disco tag team. I'm making that said right now. The Deaners, if I remember correctly, win. But
correct.
Then we get the ICU. Zachary, do you see me?
No, I don't.
Do you see me, Zachary?
Nope.
For context, I can see Zach. And ICU hacked Madison Rain's account. Confirmed Josh Matthews, it's Madison Rain's ex-boyfriend, husband, baby daddy, and he's coming back for his kid. Josh Matthews, be looking over your shoulder. I don't know what this is, man. Matt Hardy's all but confirmed to AEW. So is Luke Gallows. So who the fuck is I? There's a part of me that feels like this is Sami Callihan.
Right.
Because this is literally Sami Callihan's NXT gimmick. Only done better. God. WWE can't do anything right. So, do you have any excitement for this?
I mean, I don't know that I have much excitement for it. I'm very curious as to, is this Sami Callihan? Is this somebody new? Where is this going to go? I can't say I'm excited, but I'm very intrigued about the possibilities and what's going to happen with this.
Okay, so there's a binary code number. I'm gonna fucking
Yes,
convert
I
it.
just saw that.
I'm gonna convert this shit with my phone. Hang on. Soon. There we go. All right, binary code. Where's the entry thing? Here, enter the binary code. Okay, so it's 0, 1. What is that? 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1. Is that right?
Yeah.
So 0, 1, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1. That's the first one. Then we have 0, 1, 0, 0. What is that? 6 zeros? Read this to me.
0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1. So 5 zeros.
Okay. Hang on. I deleted the first part because I thought you were going to read the whole thing to me. Hang on.
Okay, so you want me to read the full thing, the full binary?
It's 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1. Yes?
Yes. And then 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1.
Got that. All right, what's the next one?
0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 0.
0, 0, 1, 0.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1.
Okay.
0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0.
All right.
And 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1.
All right. And the last one.
0, 0, 1, 1,
Okay.
0, 1, 1, 1.
All right.
We have a date.
March 17th. We will know who he is March 17th. So, in 2 weeks. How funny it. Oh my! Wouldn't it be funny as hell if it's like someone like CM Punk or The Rock, just like that'd be
Just
fucking
to fuck with
great.
everyone.
Or even better, just David Arquette.
I would dig David Arquette.
This is fucking fantastic. So we get Tennille Dashwood. She's backstage. She's returning soon. No, she's not returning. So she's not backstage. She's returning soon, I should say.
Yes.
Incorrectamundo. Speaking of,
because we've been missing her so much.
Right. Then we get the gut check stuff with Johnny Bravo. I have a real problem with telling a 15-year vet that they're a rookie, but I mean, whatever.
I mean, I do like. I agree. I don't like calling them I wouldn't call them a rookie, but I do kind of agree with Scott Demore's. If you've been around 16 years and it's amounted to shit, then that's 16 years of shit.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. So then we get the main event: Ty versus Tessa. It was fine. Tessa wins.
Yeah.
Not the grand excitement once upon a midnight dreary that it was built up to be, but it's fine.
Right. I mean, yeah, it was okay. I would be disappointed with it if there had actually been like a decent amount of build up and story behind it, but since this was just pretty spur of the moment, not spur of the moment, but we got a week. It was like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, all things considered, it wasn't what it could have been, but it also wasn't
Mm.
exactly given, an abundance of time. Yeah, so
Yeah.
let's see. 2 stars make their AEW debut. Let's see. Oh, well, that's not fair. It's Colt Cabana and Jake Hager, and they've been part of the project for a while. Fucking, goddammit. Fucking
Wait,
it's
what?
on me. Jake Hager and Colt Cabana are signed with AEW. Colt just got signed, but he wrestled with them before.
Mm-hmm.
Or he did something with them before. And Hagar's been, he wrestled on their last fucking pay-per-view.
I mean, he's been Jericho's lackey since the beginning, hasn't he?
Just about.
Okay.
Yep. I mean, it's wrestling websites. What are you gonna do? They're always gonna try to goose a goddamn click. And hey, you got me, kid. Good job. You got me. Why does binary code take so long to say March 7th, 10th?
I don't know.
March 17th. All right. Let's see. Gonna check this website. It's Pac, Pentagon, Jake Roberts. It looks like Jake Roberts was probably gonna end up being Luke Harper's manager in AEW.
Hmm.
Luke Harper's not signed or confirmed yet, but there's a lot of chatter about it. And Harper, is expected to come in, and Roberts is all like, "I'm a manage a new guy," and it's like, "Oh, okay. I wonder who it could be." Let's see. Anything else? Teddy Hart got arrested again. Second time in like 3 weeks. Ethan Page says that he nearly had a match against the Green Power Ranger. Damn, wish that would.
Really?
I would have marked for that. That shit sounds hilarious.
Was Tommy ever going to get into wrestling?
Actually, yes. So like a year and a half ago or 2 years ago, he basically said something like, I'm prepping to make my in-ring debut with this indie promotion in Texas, and then nothing ever happened from it.
Interesting.
Yep. So Josh Barnett pops for another drug test. Been replaced from Bellator 241. Cat should just focus on pro wrestling at this point. That's all I got. Do you got anything?
No, I don't have anything.
You want to know what's hilarious?
What's that?
The internet issues have stopped.
Yeah. That's pretty funny.
Only
Hopefully that doesn't happen too much. I'm for the first time in a couple of years not hooked up directly to my modem because in the new apartment the modem is in a separate room from where we made our office. But we are planning on getting like 20-foot Ethernet cables so that we can actually be directly connected.
I didn't want to bring this up, but I feel like now I'm forced to. You getting engaged has really put a damper on this show. I'm going to need you not to be, all right? Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Come on.
Well, then while we're on that, I am actually not going to be here, not next week, but the week afterward, as of right now. Things may change. But
are you getting married already? Like, fuck.
No. No, but I took the week off for my birthday, and we are just going on a little trip.
Okay, listen, fucker. This whole you having a life thing really not vibing with me at all. You can like Marcus is on call, man. Like I need him. He drops what he's doing. He's helping his mother who's having some issues at the moment. He dropping her heartbeat to do it. I need that kind of commitment from you.
Yeah.
Where are you guys going? You guys going anyplace fun?
No, not really. We're just kind of going some someplace nearby, but just away, so we can just kind of be away. Which we've been doing a lot lately, and we need to stop because we don't have the money. But we enjoy doing it.
I mean, you guys have your own place now. You are away.
I know, but we're weird. We're weird.
Not gonna
I'm
deny
aware.
that. I'm not gonna deny that at all.
Speaking of shows and everything, tomorrow, what arc of the boys are we up to? I read the G-Men's.
There's G-Men Tell No Lie or something like that. Did you read that one?
The GI Tell No Lie
Yeah.
and the X-Men G-Men stuff.
Okay.
That's
So
what I read.
we covered those last week because we ain't waiting for you, dumbass. So read the next two. I think they're short.
Self-Preservation Society and Nothing Like It in the World.
Yeah, I think they're both 3 apiece. I think.
Yeah, looks like it.
So yeah, that's what we're doing tomorrow. We're also going to talk the Batman Batmobile footage. It looks like a 1990s Lamborghini with a bat engine on the back end. No, I'm not kidding. So we'll talk about that.
Hold on. Let's see.
Well, give me your thoughts tomorrow. That's part of the selling point.
Okay.
So that's tomorrow. Twitch.tv/Comic and GameCorp on Twitch. Be sure to tune in at 9 p.m. as we talk the boys' next 2 arcs, which were what, Zach?
Boys' next 2 arcs are the Self-Preservation Society and Nothing Like It in the World. So issues 31 through 36.
So tune in tomorrow as we review those 2 arcs, and then find out what we think about the new Batmobile. We'll also review, me and Marcus will review My Hero Academia, because Zach has fallen off completely because he's a giant turd sandwich. Fucking people with lives. And I'm sure we'll talk about other stuff too, because it's a comic show and comic things. And there's a comic version of Cobra Kai. It's about Johnny Lawrence during his Cobra Kai years when he was a kid, baby Johnny Lawrence. I don't know when season 3 is coming, but it better be fucking coming soon, man, because I'm getting Jonesy. That and, like, literally all my shows have either turned to shit or about to end, so I don't have shit to watch anymore. Like, literally, my only 2 shows that I make appointments for are Modern Family, which is ending this year, and The Goldbergs, which should be ending, because that show just annoys me. We go from playing the Atari to playing the Nintendo to Return of the Jedi being out in theaters to fucking E.T. Like, why are we jumping around so goddamn much? Fucking idiots. Anyway, we're done. Say goodnight, Zach. Wait, hang on. RealNerdCorp.com, RealNerdCorp. We're on Twitter at NERDCRP. We're on Instagram at RealNerdCorp. Download and find us on our past podcasts at Podbean at RealNerdCorp. At realnerdcorp.podbean.com, realnerdcorp.podbean.com, or download the Podbean app to your mobile device and search for us on the app itself at Real Nerdcorp. We're also on twitch.tv/Wrestling Underground and youtube.com/Wrestling Underground or the Wrestling Underground. One of those is right. Just use both for both and you'll figure it out. It's not fucking hard. Or go to the website, realnerdcorp.com, where we have all the stuff listed right there for you. Zachary, what are your personals? No, I know your personals. It's Instagram and DeviantArt at Radiance2020, RADIANCE2020.
Correct.
There it is. And find me on Twitter at ChadNerdCorp, ChadNerdCorp, or on the Instagrams at Chad's Photo Hut. Now we're done. And now you can say goodnight.
Good night.